I was out in the Highland Lakes, northwest of Austin, and I've been driving back for about 45 minutes. I'll be back to the studio here in about 30 minutes. I'm going to go live, Lord willing, at 11 a.m. Central. The entire crew was off today for Memorial Day. Had one engineer there. But I've called back as much of the crew as I can. My kids are there, at the fishing dock by themselves with my wife and family, but I've had to leave. That's how big a deal this is. A lot of stars are aligning in a good way and a bad way right now. Try to break this down. We had the first message from inside prison with Tommy Robinson yesterday when we had his manager on, who's his main contact, Mr. Robert's son. So we had him on. That video is on Infowars.com to relay what's happened to Tommy in the prison he's in, and protests now in Australia, Germany. I'm told some are about to happen today in the U.S. Just a recap if you're a new viewer or listener. Again, Alex Jones here, driving back in from the Hill Country for an emergency broadcast. We're having a rebroadcast today, but I'm coming in, at least for the first hour or so. My son was catching catfish, holding about a 5-pounder right when I decided to come in. Anyways, nothing to brag about, just having fun, trying to be a human. But the war is so intense, the information war, everything coming to a head. Tommy, of course, got secretly arrested. The judge ordered no one to cover it for covering massive pedophile rings, given 13 months from the last suspended sentence covering the pedophile rings. This is bigger than a court order for a trial. They have D notices on national security in Britain. They have D notices ordering the media not to report on Robinson being arrested. This has finally clicked with people living in police state UK just how bad it is. So, that said, let me give you the latest data on why I'm coming in and why it's an emergency. We've got new developments with Tommy that I'm going to cover at 11. That's an hour and 13 minutes Central. And that ties into the FBI raids that have been going on. A lot of these folks are being grabbed off fishing boats. They're being grabbed off the street. They're being grabbed from their work. They're being grabbed when they get off airplanes. It's now 13 people in the last week and a half who've been scooped up, and about 25% of the time, I've now learned. You saw Michael Caputo come on last Monday. That's confirmed. He was only one of the 12 at the time that would go public. It was 8 then. I talked to Zach from Army Special Operations. He works in some other areas now. They scooped him up yesterday at the dock in Sarasota, about to go on a fishing boat, the FBI, and brought up the most wild, outlandish stuff. And he said the FBI knew it was bull, but that they've got a narrative and that it's a rogue group in the FBI, which we all know about. And they said that Roger Stone and I are ringleaders of the whole WikiLeaks thing and are taking direct orders from Trump, and that Zach is in on it with us, and that we meet with Zach. I've never met Zach in person. He's been calling in for a year and a half or so. When I realized he was giving us stuff that I knew was dead on to what I was getting from the FBI hostage rescue team back when Las Vegas tragically happened, I started talking to him on the phone maybe 10 times. But the point is that the FBI knew it was a BS narrative. Zach met with him and his lawyer yesterday. I know who Zach is. As I pointed out, Zach's a public figure. He's been on the news before. And but he doesn't want his name out because there are non-disclosure agreements associated with his PR PSYOP functions with the U.S. Army. And that's what they're threatening him on. But as a citizen, he has a right to speak, and they're scared he's going to go public. DSQ, Deep State Q, which was a major PSYOP, of course, has outed who he is. We're not hiding it. He's just not supposed to. They used who he was, 8-9 years ago to try to, lessen his age and stuff to make him not look serious. Back when he was a young guy in the Army. And he was involved in Libya, Benghazi, all of it. And is a key person in that. and he knows all the big players. Farrakhan, Congressman, Senator Rand Paul, all of it, okay? Because of his connections. And I'm going to leave it at that. But this has all got Louis Farrakhan involved. This has all got Rand Paul involved. This is high-level groups. You can say, oh, I hate Louis Farrakhan for what the media takes out of context. And some of that I disagree with. But when I went and met with Farrakhan 2 years ago for 8 hours, had dinner with him at his headquarters in Phoenix, he told me I support Trump, but people aren't ready for it. I understand the establishment's coming after him. I understand he'll have a new establishment, but that he is not anti-black. He said they're going to try to destroy him. He wanted me to basically get messages to Trump. I said, well, I hardly talk to him, but I will. Zero coverage of all of that. Zero coverage of all of that. But see, that's why they sent out Jay-Z, Obama did, to tell all the rappers don't meet with Trump after Kanye did a few weeks ago. And we broke that, and DrudgeReport.com picked it up. Because this whole thing is imploding for the globalists. This whole thing's falling apart. And again, I'm just giving you some of the picture here of what's happening. I'm going to break it down coming up in about an hour and 8 minutes. But Zach's been told by his lawyer he could be disappeared at any time, just like Tommy Robinson. There have been members of Congress that are aware of this. Kurt Weldon came on my show last year and said it's clear that they staged Benghazi to ship weapons into Syria, that he was going to release all the info, that he got threatened a bunch and stopped. And this goes for everything, the Gulf of Tonkin, the killing of Kennedy, 9/11, the whole situation with Benghazi, the Arab Spring, Libya, internet censorship. This is this whole criminal group through the CIA, leftist groups, globalist groups, that got control of America. This is an attempt to get America out from under their bureaucratic coup. That's what the deep state fight everything is. That's all Trump is somebody becoming our president.